Hello, geometry class, and happy, I believe it's Wednesday by the time you see this. We're going to finish up our notes from section 7 about writing equations. We're going to focus more on when you need to complete the square to write your equations. In case you're wondering, because I did say this is the end of chapter 10, we will not be having a giant chapter 10 test. What we're going to do is tomorrow we're going to have a small graded assignment on equations of circles, and then next week we'll start with chapter 11, which has more to do with circles. All right, let's look at these two. Okay, so it says transform each equation into standard form of a circle and then identify the center and radius. So remember, so if I had my standard form, here, let's start over. X minus h squared, let's make that a better x, plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. All right, so look at this. All right, x squared minus 8x plus 16 plus y squared plus 4y plus 4 equals 25. Well, that doesn't look like the standard form. Oh, but let's look over here. What if I put little parentheses around here and little parentheses around here? And let's see if we can recognize any patterns. Hopefully you remember from algebra, and we even reviewed at the beginning of this year, that this is one of our perfect squares, one of our special products. And if I were to factor this, right, I would have x minus 4 squared, right? Factors of 16 that have a sum of negative 8, plus y plus 2 squared. Right, so again, this is one of our special trinomials where when we factor, it gave us a perfect square, and I don't have to do anything to the right. Well, look at that. What is my center? Well, this is x minus h, so my center is 4, negative 2, right? Because if I had a minus, it had to be a minus and negative to get positive 2. And my radius, square root of 25, 5. Okay, well now let's look at this one. There we go. All right, now this one looks very different. I've got nothing over here. This, right, how can I do a perfect square with 6's? There's nothing times itself that gives me 6. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to need to complete the square. And the first thing I'm going to do, right, and again here, this negative 3 and negative 4 won't give me a perfect square. So I'm going to move this over there, right? And this should look like what you did on Monday with your review of completing the square. Right. So I add 3 to both sides, and there I go. Now I'm going to put my parentheses in because I'm going to group them differently. Right? And I want to complete the square. So if you remember from Monday, what you have to do is you have to take half of b and then square it. So my b for just this one is 6. So b divided by 2 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. So I'm going to add 9 here. And remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I'm going to add 9 here. Now I'm not going to total it yet because I'm going to have to do this here as well. So for this one, I'm going to draw the line here. Y squared minus 4y. My b in this is negative 4. Half of b is negative 2. So b squared is going to be 4. So I'm going to add 4. I forgot to do this here. So here I'm going to add 9. And then I'm going to write plus y squared minus 4y plus 4. So if I add 4 here, I have to add it there as well. All right, so this is kind of mumbo jumbo, so I'm going to write it all over here. So it's x squared plus 6x plus 9. Again, I got that 9 by completing the square. If you're confused, you can't remember how to complete the square, there is a video I post in Classroom from Khan Academy that's very good at explaining, and it'll refresh your memory on how to do that. I'm going to add to that y squared minus 4y plus 4. Now make sure you added both things to the right. So 9 plus 4 plus 3, I get 16. All right, now factor this. Now it's a perfect square. That's why we did it. Now we can get it into standard form. Oops. Factor it. All right, so this is going to be x plus 3 squared. Again, it's one of our special trinomials that we can factor. If you forget, factors of 9 that have a sum of 6. Plus, right, this is going to be my y minus 2 squared. And also notice this plus 3, that's what we came up here, right? That was our b divided by 2. This minus 2 is also our b divided by 2. So keep that in mind too. Equals 16. This is now in standard form. Okay, let's see if I can move this out of the way. Here we go. So what does that tell me? That tells me that my center is at negative 3, 2. And my radius is the square root of 16, 4. Okay, so this one a little more work, but remember, if you don't see any perfect squares in there, that means you can complete the square. You can make anything one of our special products by completing the square. Use the rest of the time to complete the assignment in Classroom. I will be in chat if you have questions, and I'll see you soon.